Change does not have to be scary once you realize that it is inevitable. Once you're able to accept that you have grown and you're not who you used to be and you're not where you once were, you will be able to be confident in your current reality in the present moment and become the person you're meant to be. Welcome or welcome back. It's your favorite mental health specialist, Ty Guidance, and that is what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Now, with that being said, because there's no right or wrong way to heal yourself, always and only take what resonates as well as leave the rest. So if it doesn't apply, then that means it is not in line, which means it's not for you, so don't force it. As well as grab your pens, grab your paper, and be prepared to take notes. For this video specifically, and starting off this brand new month of May, we're going to be going over and accepting that life is going to go on. You are going to change, and why it's so important to accept your growth and allow yourself grace, as well as some recommendations, some reminders, some disclaimers, and just certain things that you need to be aware of. So starting off with the introduction, starting off with the first couple of disclaimers. We are not who we used to be. Like, you have to realize that after all the trials and tribulations, after all the trauma, after all the suffering, after all the pain, you have changed. You have changed emotionally, physically, psychologically, consciously, howeverly, like, and even financially, like even physically. Like, you are not who you used to be, and that is not a bad thing. You have to realize that there are certain stages in your life, there are certain chapters in your life that you're going to experience, and that those moments have already come to pass. The only reason why it seems so challenging at times for you to accept the change is because maybe you didn't learn certain lessons in those moments, and now you're having to reflect on them. Because that's it. Like, learning to accept who you are now doesn't make you the villain. Doesn't mean that you have to dwell on your past. But until you realize that you had a past, you will hold on to these memories and the imaginations. And this is going to cause you to spiral and suffer and be anxious and doubt yourself and not be confident and have anxiety and be depressed. So the second disclaimer is knowing that you're constantly going to go through a fluctuations of emotions and opportunities in life. There's not a one size to life. There's not a one size at all. So you cannot compare your life to what you've gone through, what you witnessed, to anybody else. Yes, you're going to meet people along this journey like myself, but unless people have taken the time to get to know you in every area of your life, good, bad, wealthy, or broke, you don't have to beat yourself up, compare yourself, or look outside of yourself. Like, you don't need to seek validation from people. You don't have to worry about people judging you. Like, in order for you to accept and allow yourself grace, for you to be this version of who you currently are right now, you have to realize that you have gone through certain things. And just because you have gone through certain things doesn't mean that you have to be set in stone in those ways. So like, if you grew up in poverty as a child, that doesn't mean as an adult, like, you have to stay poor forever. If you grew up and you were abused, that doesn't mean that you're going to continue to allow people to mentally, verbally, or physically hurt and harm you. If you grew up being a people pleaser, this doesn't mean that you're always going to put other people first. Like, you can learn how to be confident. If you're somebody who is like very selective, very reserved, that doesn't mean that you can't learn to be outspoken and outgoing. And I'm speaking from experience. What has helped me along my healing journey was to realize that I was so many versions. I was so many different parts of myself because I went through so many different things, and that it's not the end of the world. Like, it's only the end of the world when it's time for you to transition, if you know what I'm talking about. DEATH, okay? That's when you need to be concerned. But as long as you're living, you have to keep that in mind. And that's the third disclaimer. Live life every single day, because it's not promised, it's not guaranteed. You do not know how long you're going to live on this earth, and that's not to scare you, that's not to put fear into you. But a lot of people don't realize and have a certain level of appreciation when it comes to life, because you're so used to living a certain type of way that maybe you haven't gone through anything, or maybe you feel like your life isn't where you want to be. You have to realize there are only 24 hours in a day. You can't worry about the future. You honestly don't need to be worried about the past, because none of those things exist. The only thing that exists right now is you watching this YouTube video, you know, turning on your post notifications, liking and subscribing, most importantly, and following me for more. But most importantly, just living now. Like, everything that you went through, it happened. And it's not until you take the time to self-reflect, it's not until you process how certain things made you feel, it's not until you realize, like, okay, I was naive, or maybe I was ignorant, or maybe I was arrogant, or maybe I was whatever it was. It's all right. Like, it is okay that you went through life and you're going through life, because that's what's going to happen. Like, what else are you not going to do? If you're not alive, then you are dead. So the fifth, is it the fifth recommendation or the fourth? I lost count. The fifth or fourth recommendation, let's just say the final recommendation, is that in order for you to accept where you are and step into this new version and be the person you need to be, you have to learn how to make better choices and better decisions. Like, a lot of times you made the choices based off of what you were taught and shown. You made choices based off of what you had. You made choices maybe based off of your emotions and how you feel. And for the month of May, we're going to be talking about that too. So I don't want to speak too much on that without giving too much of the video, but it's like, it's okay. Like, you really have to learn how to validate yourself and be okay with what you've gone through and what you've learned. Because it's like, if you learn a lesson, you're not going to continue the same cycles in life. Like, yes, it may have hurt your feelings 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, even 3 months ago, or even at the beginning of this month. But it's like, if you apply yourself and you show up for yourself, why would you not like see results? Why would you not be able to see the growth within yourself? So when it comes to the first recommendation with you accepting that you have changed, is realizing that you're not where you once were. Like, you do have to be able to look at your surroundings. You do have to be able to go outside and touch grass and realize, oh my gosh, like, especially if you've gone through a lot of trauma. Like, a lot of people don't realize that, yes, psychologically, when you have gone through a significant amount of trauma, a lot of times it can cause you to have PTSD or CPTSD, or it could cause you to go to initial shock. It can cause you to feel insecure. It can cause you to have like very low self-esteem. But once you go to therapy, once you see a psychiatrist, once you book a servicing session with me, which is in my description on my website, once you go to the gods or the ancestors universe, take what resonates, leave the rest, because we're not here to force religion or spirituality, and you release how you feel, you cry, you grieve, you journal, you find healthy ways to come up with how to handle certain situations, you will realize, okay, I can let this go. I don't have to hold on to it. Like, the only reason why it's so hard for a lot of people to accept that they have changed and they're not who they used to be is because you were living in dysfunction. You were living in confusion. You were living in corruption. Maybe you weren't living to the fullest potential. Like, once again, just because you grew up in dysfunction, just because you've gone through all these horrible things, doesn't mean that you have to be like that your entire life. So the second recommendation when it comes to accepting growth is figuring out, okay, what did you go through? How did it make you feel? And what do you want to do about it today? It's so important to hold yourself accountable. On this account, we hold ourselves accountable. We motivate, inform, and educate as a naturopathic physician, which means we heal ourselves internally, psychologically, and subconsciously. Like, we have to hold ourselves accountable. I have to hold myself accountable. So I have a past. I've gone through trials and tribulations. I have been traumatized. Whoop-de-doo. I'm saying that for me. I'm not saying that for you. I'm not here to invalidate your experience. But as somebody who has gone through a lot of things, which eventually I will be talking and going over eventually, like what I went through specifically and how I overcame it, I had to, like I said, realize like, okay, I cried. I was able to express myself. I was able to realize like, okay, I was innocent in certain situations. I wasn't wrong. I wasn't right, whatever it was. And just accept like, okay, what am I going to do about it now? Like, what can I do to change? What can I do to start? Like, yes, when you go through trials and tribulations, yes, when you go through poverty, yes, when you go through abuse, yes, when you've been traumatized, it's not something that's going to happen immediately in 24 hours, right? Unless you were just really like that, like unless you're really in tune with your higher self, which pat yourself on the back if you are. Yes, it's not going to happen overnight. Like, yes, it's going to take time to process, just like anything in life. But it's like, if you want to do better, then eventually you're going to hold yourself accountable. Like, you're not going to continue to beat yourself up. And like I said, it's a process, and that's the third recommendation. But it's like, before we get into the third recommendation, like, you have to realize like, okay, and like, you have to start saying, okay, and like, yes, I may have been abused as a child, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to continue to abuse people or that I want to continue to be abused. So what do we do about it? What did you learn from being abused? I need to speak up. If I speak up and people try to gaslight me, I need to stop talking to them. It is so simple once you realize that, once you actually have cried and you released anger. This is not going to be easy until you are honest with yourself. And a lot of people don't like to sit with themselves. A lot of people don't like to be honest. So if you don't like to be honest, you don't like to be held accountable, send and share this video to somebody who is, because that's the type of time that we're on for the month of May. Like, what can I do? If I was being taken advantage of, or if people were treating me some type of way, if I was being betrayed, what did I need to learn about myself in those situations? So for me personally, I have gone through trials and tribulations, and what I've personally learned is that with certain people, places, and things, I know that I'm grateful that once I scope this scenery out, once I peep the vibes, I personally had to learn to remove myself immediately. Like, I personally do not have the patience or the capacity to deal with certain people who choose to be willfully ignorant, who choose to hurt and harm people, who choose to be malicious. Like, not everyone is going to heal themselves. Not everyone is confident. Not everyone has genuine intentions. Once I realize that somebody doesn't want to heal themselves, once I realize somebody doesn't want to apply themselves, once I realize somebody's not willing to seek assistance, I don't have to deal with them. That's what I had to realize. Like, I don't have to deal with certain people just because I'm related to them, just because I dated them, just because I went to school with them, just because I went to work with them, just because I'm in, like, whatever it was. If you don't have enough respect for yourself, I'm not a mom, and I'm not a babysitter. And because I respect myself and I love myself first, I'm allowed to separate myself. That's something I had to realize with certain people. Like, the moment somebody is not in alignment with me, I'm removing myself. I don't have to sit here and be like, oh, okay, now when it comes to you all, my audience, the people who want to do the work, I have the patience. But if you're not willing to like, comment, engage, take notes, ask questions, I'm not dealing with you. I'm a grown adult. And that does not make me selfish. That doesn't make me conceited. That doesn't make me arrogant. Nobody has to deal with your BS. Let's be for real. Especially for you grown adults. And grown adults is not a race or a gender, right? So it could be anybody. Same thing with you. Like, if you know you were a people pleaser, like me, I've never been a people pleaser, so I don't know what that's like. But if you were a people pleaser, you have to realize, okay, it's nothing wrong with you being a good person. It's nothing wrong with you giving. It's nothing wrong with you sharing. But if you realize people are not receptive of that energy, snatch your energy back and give it to yourself. Pour it into yourself. Maybe you needed to learn how to pour that energy into yourself instead of giving it to other people. Now, what I can say is that I've also learned, like, I am somebody who is a giver because I'm abundant. This is why I also give you guys these free videos on YouTube. Oh my God. Like, when you're an abundant person, it's nothing to give to people because you get that energy back in return because you're the source, okay? Other than God, ancestors, universe. Like, you're the source. But not everybody, like I said, has the capacity sometimes to even receive what you're giving them. So same thing. I've met people, I've gave to them, I've never got the energy back in return. I personally had to realize, okay, just because I'm giving to people doesn't mean that I have to be cold or standoffish. No, it's just everyone's not deserving. Not everybody, like I said, has the capacity. So it's like, stop beating yourself up and just realize, like, okay, where you need to be held accountable. If you're an innocent person, if you've been easily manipulated, if you've easily been taken advantage of, you have to realize you're a beautiful person. You're smart, you're intelligent, you're kind. You have to realize your powers. You have to realize the positive traits about you that other people see in you. You have to stop surrounding yourself with people who are greedy or sinful or lustful or deceptive or who only want things for themselves. Stop surrounding yourself with selfish people. Like, you don't have to stop being a good person. You don't have to stop being loving or kind to people. But you do have to realize, okay, not everyone is like that. Like, once you stop expecting yourself from other people, once you stop giving, over giving, once you start pouring that energy to yourself, you pick and choose who you want in your life, and the energy is receptive. So the third recommendation is knowing that it is a process. This is not something that's just going to happen overnight. You have to be willing to do the work. A lot of times, most people are in therapy and healing themselves their entire life. Majority of people, if it's not their entire life or every day, it's going to take months. It's going to take years. Like I said, if you're not somebody who's like serious, like if you lack consistency, if you're not a disciplined, naturally person, if you're not somebody who's able to overcome obstacles and adapt, it's going to take you a second. And I'm going to be so honest. Like, stop trying to feel bad about you having to process things differently. And like I said, comparing yourself. Some people can heal in a month. Some people, it may take them 10 years. Some people may take them 20 years. Some people, it may take them a day. Some people, you have to know that your pace is for you. Like, you don't have to be worried about you having to heal, about you being touched on inappropriately, or you grow up in poverty, or you being a people pleaser, or people taking advantage of you when other people haven't gone through that. So the fourth recommendation is knowing that as you're changing, as you're accepting what has happened to you, as you're reflecting, that you are removing everything that's not for you. If you know certain people take advantage of you, me personally, I don't believe in second chances. So like, anybody I knew, I don't know them now, and I don't want to know them now, and I'm not going to see them later unless it's inshallah. Like, inshallah, that means if God wills, if God allows, then yeah. But if not, I don't believe in second chances. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't give people second chances, but it's real strict over here. You only have one time to show me that you're not a good person. This doesn't mean that people cannot change and grow, but like I said, I don't have the capacity. I don't want to. I don't have to. You have to realize, okay, if certain people were not willing to pour into you, if certain people manipulated you, if certain people took advantage of you, if certain people are not supporting you financially, emotionally, psychologically, if they don't have the capacity to get to know you, if they don't want to, don't stress yourself out. If certain things tried to hurt and harm you and it took away from you, remove yourself from it. It's no reason for you to continue to surround yourself with certain people, places, and things. Like, you have to see people for who they are. Stop trying to see the potential because it's not real. Stop trying to over-explain yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you, and realize that some people are going to take notes, some people are going to clap, and some people are going to watch. You need to learn how to put people in their place and vice versa. Anybody who's like, oh, they want to sit here and make excuses, let them feel how they want to feel. Like, especially if you're gonna be somebody who is outgoing or you have stuff going for yourself. I cannot concern myself with people disagreeing with me in the comment section, making up stories on the blog, on the internet, or in real life. Like, first of all, I don't even want to be associated with you people. All to y'all shade. Second of all, if you've already made up in your mind and perceived me as to be something that I'm not, or however you want to be because you have control issues and you have insecurities and you're a weirdo, I'm not changing your mind. So if someone thinks, oh, she's selfish, she's arrogant, she's stuck up, he's arrogant, he's full of himself, he's really not on that, he's not attractive, he's not, then let them think that. Let them stand on it. Take it to the grave. Let's see if you're really like that, okay? All to y'all shade. Like, people love to yap and no action. Let your energy speak for itself. Let your actions speak for itself, okay? So I need you to realize this is a new month. If you want things to change, you need to continue to change. You have to accept change. You don't need to be embarrassed. You don't need to be ashamed. Like I said, nobody's going to make you feel bad, because that's how you know you're on the right path. That's how you're growing, because it's like things are going to change. Nothing is going to ever be what it was. So it's like, you can get with the program, you can get with the times, or you can stay left behind. But at the end of the day is going to end. So with that being said, I love you guys. This is how we're starting off the month of May. Any questions, comments, or concerns, any revelations, any experiences, anything that you've gone through and related with, let me know down in the comment section. Don't be shy, girl, or guy, or they, or she, or we, EFG, OG, 1, 2, 3, Q, etc. Okay, all the they's and we's and b's and c's. As well as, when you guys are following me on social media, follow me on Instagram and on TikTok. And if you want me to go over something, or if you have questions, comments, concerns that I haven't addressed already, let me know. If you guys want me to start going back live again for the month of May, drop the word May, or what it is that you want to go over and discuss. And if you're interested in the service and a session, once again, click the description down below. And if you're unable to do that and you're having like technical difficulties, drop the word website. And you guys, I have this, can you see this piece of hair? I got this piece of hair. Oh my god. Okay, but I love you. You're loved. You're not alone. Until next time, thanks for watching. Peace. Bye.